Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into the deep end of radical self-improvement.
We are.
Our sources are these really powerful, high-intensity motivational compilations. And this isn't the kind of stuff that just, asks you to try a little harder.
No, not at all.
It pretty much demands that you go to war with your own limitations. We're talking really high-octane language, phrases like attack those dreams, or just the simple command to go hard.
And our mission here for you is to get past all that hype, to really strip this philosophy down to its basics. What are the concrete, non-negotiable demands when you commit to this go hard mindset?
Exactly. What are the sacrifices? What are the shifts in thinking you actually have to make? We're looking for the blueprint, really, behind all the intensity.
Right. And it's clear from the sources that you don't start by looking for external problems. The very first demand is intensely personal.
Okay, so what's the core question then? When you decide to stop waiting around and just take massive action, who or what is the very first enemy you have to face?
It's immediate and it's internal. This entire mindset is built on total ownership and decisive action. It's about rejecting that passive idea that tomorrow or the world owes you something just for being here.
So it starts with you.
It starts with confronting what the sources call the lazy individual that resides inside of you.
That's a really powerful way to frame it. It puts the battleground right inside your own head. Like the external stuff can wait.
Precisely. That lazy self is that voice that gives you all the resistance, right? It tells you not to get up or to put off the hard stuff, convincing you that, good enough is good enough.
And the goal is to just shut that voice down.
To release that lazy mentality, yeah. Because that internal lazy self, it's not going to lift the weight off your chest. It's not going to help you go the extra mile. If you really want change, you have to be the one to start it.
So it's all about urgency, not waiting for someone to give you permission or applaud you. Yeah. You just go.
And they have this perfect visual for it, for this idea of total responsibility. They say the next year is a blank page, a brand new canvas, but you're the one holding the pen.
I like that. So the opportunity is there, but so is the pressure.
Exactly. The future in this mindset doesn't belong to the hesitant person or the cautious one. It belongs to the bold one who just grabs that pen and starts writing immediately.
Ownership can be a pretty broad term, though. What does it really mean here? Is it just admitting where you are, or is it something deeper?
It's the critical focus. The sources are very clear. This year is not about perfection. It's about ownership. Okay. It means taking responsibility for your life, your failures, your current situation, all of it, like you never have before. It's this deep acknowledgement that, change doesn't just find you while you're sitting on the couch.
You have to go get it.
You have to go get it and you have to take it. It's a really aggressive approach to your own life.
That aggressive responsibility, it must require a huge internal shift, moving away from needing someone else to say good job to demanding more from yourself. But where does that energy even come from?
Well, this is where the sources make a really interesting distinction. It's not about being blessed. It's about being fed up.
Fed up.
Yeah. One of the speakers says the year everything changed for him wasn't the year he got lucky or blessed. It was the year he got fed up with his own excuses, his own doubts.
Fed up with playing small.
Exactly. So that transformation, it's often lit by this really profound negative energy. Deep dissatisfaction, not just, positive thinking.
Is that sustainable, though, using frustration as fuel?
It's the ignition. It's that moment of absolute conviction where you use that feeling to say, I'm done. I'm done with the excuses. The sources say if you want a different life, you have to become a different you. And the only thing in the way is a decision.
A single decision.
A firm one, made with such strong intention that your body literally responds to your mind.
Okay, so once you make that decision, you're fired up. That brings us to the next big part of this mindset, the idea of sacrifice. They talk about becoming a workhorse.
Correct. And they argue that greatness demands obsession. They even point out that Kobe Bryant's favorite word when it came to winning was obsession.
And obsession, by definition, means other things have to fall by the wayside.
You got it. You simply can't keep everything in your life perfectly balanced and also achieve something spectacular in one area. It's just not possible.
This is the part people tend to ignore, right? Everyone loves the idea of work hard, but nobody wants to talk about the actual cost. So what are the specific things you have to be willing to give up?
The sources are brutally honest about this. They say you have to be ready to sacrifice major parts of a so-called balanced life.
For instance.
If you're going all in on your career, it's going to cost you family time. It'll cost you hanging out with friends, being a great friend, probably sleep, maybe even your fitness.
And it works the other way too, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. If your main focus is, say, being a primary caregiver to a new child, your business might have to take a back seat for a while.
That sounds like a recipe for guilt. I mean, how do you not feel like you're failing at everything else all the time?
And this is where they give probably the most important piece of tactical advice in the whole thing. It's really counterintuitive.
Okay, what is it?
You must choose in advance what you want to suck at.
Wow. Choose in advance what you want to suck at. That completely reframes it. Why is that so important?
Because it manages your expectations and it gets rid of the guilt. When you pre-choose to fail at something, like you decide, okay, for the next 6 months, my social life is going to suck.
Yeah.
It stops those moments from feeling like a mistake.
Or like a personal failing.
Right. It becomes, as the source says, part of the plan. So when you miss a party or your yard gets overgrown, you don't panic. You don't take your eye off the main goal to go play catch up on something you already decided wasn't the priority.
So you're giving yourself permission to neglect certain things, but in a very structured, temporary way.
Exactly. You focus on leveling up in one area first.
Yeah.
You hit that goal, and then you can pivot and bring the other areas back up. It makes the imbalance feel intentional and calculated, not chaotic.
You mentioned work becoming self-reinforcing.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Because a lot of the time, the work just feels like a grind.
Well, the sources say that once you learn how to work that intensely, once you build the habit, the work itself starts to give you its own reward. You start to enjoy the feeling of getting better, the momentum.
So the struggle isn't the work itself anymore.
The struggle becomes sacrificing everything else so you can get back to the work, which has now become this thing you actually enjoy. That's the switch.
Speaking of struggle, let's talk about the pain. The language here gets really intense. They say success means going through this hell, enduring agonizing pain. Why? Why does it have to be so dramatic? Can't you just work hard without all the suffering?
They see the hell, or the struggle, as the development process. It's not a punishment. They argue that success is just masked by temporary pain. You don't get big life-changing results without the struggle first. The pain is just proof that you're growing.
Okay, but we all know struggle is part of life. Shouldn't it get easier if you get through one hard thing? Aren't you stronger for the next? Why do they say the suck keeps sucking?
Because life, in this view, doesn't fight fair. You're a moving target. The sources say that to really challenge someone, you have to keep changing the test. You have to increase the intensity and the variety of the challenge.
So life does that to you?
It applies that rule, yeah.
Yeah.
The currency you pay with keeps changing.
What do you mean by the currency?
Well, at first the currency might just be your time, long hours, physical exhaustion. But you get used to that.
Okay.
Then the challenge shifts. Now you have to conquer the doubt from your family or deal with a partner who betrays you or a sudden financial crisis hits. The struggle isn't about hours anymore. It's about emotional strength, resilience.
It's not just a wall you have to climb. It's an opponent that keeps changing its strategy.
Precisely. You think you've mastered one kind of suck, and then life hits you with the kind you didn't even know existed. And this is where you get this crucial insight. When you're in that hell, you have a choice.
What choice is that?
You choose whether you're going to be a victim, defined by complaining and misery, or if you're going to find some meaning in how you show up inside that suffering.
So do you run from it or through it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The sources see this as the ultimate test. Life is going to push you and hit you to see basically if you're serious this time, and the only way to respond
Is to hit back just as hard?
the call to action is direct. If hell is coming, you have to give it hell. Fight through it, acknowledge the pain is there, but refuse to let it own you. You have to decide to be greater than your suffering.
Okay, let's shift from that external fight to the internal one. The sources say that victory is ultimately personal, that the most important battle is the one against yourself.
And this is where they bring up a paradox that I think holds so many people back. The fear of being great.
The fear of being great, not the fear of failure.
Right. Sounds crazy, but they claim people are scared they will make it out of their hometown. Scared they will actually live up to their potential. Or maybe deep down, they're scared they don't deserve it.
That's a huge idea. We focus so much on overcoming the fear of failing. Why would anyone fear success?
I think it's because the change is irreversible. Failure is familiar, you can always go back to how things were. But real success, greatness, that changes the rules forever.
The stakes get higher.
The stakes get higher. There's more scrutiny. You lose the person you used to be. You're afraid of the massive responsibility that comes with it and scared you can't handle that new life.
So if that fear of the future is what's holding you back, how do you get past it?
The antidote, according to the sources, is belief. Belief in yourself is framed as like the most powerful force in the world, but it's not passive. It's an action.
And it all comes back to that definitive choice we talked about earlier.
Yes. It's that moment you decide with such firm intention, such conviction, that your body feels it. It's like you're giving your body an emotional taste of that future success. And that feeling, that memory, is what you hold on to when the doubt comes back.
What kind of practical work goes into building that belief?
The unseen work is what matters most. Creating your own mission statement, your own ethos, and holding yourself to it every single morning. Defining who you are becoming.
The healed you, the focused you.
Exactly. The sources say that until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. That ethos is your blueprint.
That's powerful. It's about building yourself into a masterpiece on the inside, recognizing that your moment isn't in the past, it's right in front of you.
You've got contracts to sign, lives to impact. The message is clear. Step across that line you've drawn for yourself. Do the thing you've been putting off now.
So that brings us to the end of this deep dive. We started with this intense idea of going hard, and we've broken it down into, well, it's core demand.
Total ownership.
Right. And calculated sacrifice, enduring that persistent struggle, and then winning the internal war against the fear of your own potential.
The bottom line is to stand fast, keep pushing, and use the time you have right now. Time doesn't wait.
It definitely doesn't. Which brings us to a final provocative thought from the sources about this idea of balance.
Right. If you try to perfectly balance everything, happiness, success, life, love all at the same time, what happens on a perfectly balanced scale?
Nothing. It's static. It's zero.
It's absolute zero. And they warn that if you try to do that in life, you end up with absolute zero of everything. Now, you can't tip the scale all the way over forever, but the challenge for you, the learner, is this.
Okay.
You have to decide where your focus is going to be right now. What is the one area you're willing to aggressively overtip your scale toward today, knowing that you've already chosen what you're willing to let suck for a little while to get there?
That's the decision. That's what moves you from just thinking about it to actually doing it. That's going hard.
It is. Move from being hyped up to being transformed. Your time is now.